that you remain, so that you tell me as much as you can about what is happening back there.
Lisa was invited by an old student friend to spend Christmas on the west coast of Sweden. Her nephew, Otto Robert Frisch, who was also a physicist, came to join her there.
Hey. Aunt? 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 Lisa, how are you, my dear? Merry Christmas, Aunt.
I need your help. Come on, let's go out.
But I was hoping you'd help me.
Hansa Berlin'de tuhaf sonuçlar alıyordu. Uranyum çekirdeğini nötron bombardımanına tutmanın büyüklüğünü değiştirdiğine dair bir kanıt yoktu. Hatta deneylerine daha küçük bir atom olan radyum karışıyordu. Meitner'ın uzman görüşüne çok ihtiyacı vardı. Meitner, uzaktan öğrendiklerinden deneylerinde çok değişik bir şey olduğundan kuşkulanıyordu.
Hahn and Strassman are getting some strange results with the uranium work.
Really?
A couple of months ago, Hahn told me that they were finding radium amongst the uranium products. We are looking for a much bigger element, and here we're finding something much smaller. I urged Hahn to check again. It couldn't be radium. And now he writes to me and tells me that it's not radium, it's barium.
That's even smaller.
Exactly. Hahn is sure that it's another error, but I don't know anymore. It is at least possible that barium is being produced.
So Hahn still needs you to interpret the data.
It is my work too, you know.
Exactly.
Well, I can't be there, can I? Come on, let's walk.
Surely he's made a mistake, hasn't he? He hasn't done what you told him to.
Oh, my darling Robert, he may not be a brilliant theorist, but he's too good a chemist to get this wrong.
If you imagine a drop of water, a big drop, it's unstable, on the verge of breaking apart. It turns out that a big nucleus like uranium is just like that. Now, for 4 years, Meitner and Hahn and all other physicists had thought that if you pump more neutrons into this nucleus, it'll just get bigger and heavier. But suddenly, Meitner and Frisch, out in the midday snow, realized this nucleus might just get so big that it would split in two.
If the nucleus is so big that it has trouble staying together, then couldn't just a little tiny joke from a neutron...
Yes, but if the nucleus did split, the two halves would fly apart with a huge amount of energy. Where's that energy going to come from?
How much energy?
Well, we worked out that the mutual repulsion between two nuclei would generate about 200 million electron volts. But something has to supply that energy.
Wait, let me do a packing friction calculation. The two nuclei are lighter than the original nucleus of the uranium by about 1/5 of a proton in mass.
What? So some mass has been lost. Einstein's E equals mc squared.
If we multiply the lost mass by the speed of light squared, we get 200 million electron volts. He's split the atom.
No. You've split the atom.
It was an amazing discovery. Of course, in the laboratory, we're talking about tiny amounts of uranium and correspondingly tiny amounts of energy. But the point is that the amount of energy released was relatively large, and that came from the mass of the uranium itself. The energy released was entirely consistent with Einstein's equation E equals mc squared.
Meitner ve Frisch'in nükleer füzyon adını verdikleri keşiflerinin yayınlanması büyük coşkuyla karşılandı. Ama onları büyük bir ihanet bekliyordu. Otto Hahn, Yahudi meslektaşını devre dışı bırakması için Nazi rejiminden baskı görüyordu. 1944'te bu keşif için verilen Nobel ödülünü tek başına aldı. Konuşmasında Meitner'ın önemli rolünden pek bahsetmedi. Gariptir, Hahn savaştan sonra bile nükleer füzyonu Meitner'ın değil, kendisinin bulduğu iddiasını sürdürdü.
Now I want to write something personal, which disturbs me and which I ask you to read with more than 40-year friendship in mind and with the desire to understand me. I am now referred to as Hahn's longtime co-worker. How would you feel if you were only characterized as the longtime co-worker of me? After the last 15 years, which I wouldn't wish on any good friend, shall my scientific past also be taken from me? Is that fair? And why is it happening?
Lisa Meitner had been working on this for 30 years. She'd only broken apart a handful of atoms, but that was enough. Once she had broken even one, the genie was out of the bottle. What Meitner had started, after that, physicists around the world began to realize they could take it a lot further.
1942'de atom bombası yapmak için yoğun bir çaba başladı. Amerika'nın dört bir yanında şifreli bir adla Manhattan Projesi adıyla gizli tesisler kuruldu.
Meitner was asked to join the Manhattan Project, and she refused. She refused to have anything to do with the atomic bomb. But Robert Frisch was different. He was an important member of the team because he was convinced of the need to beat the Nazis in a nuclear arms race.
Almanya'ya karşı asla nükleer bomba kullanılmadı. Ama E eşittir mc karenin korkunç yıkıcı gücünü göstermek için Hiroşima ve Nagasaki'ye atom bombaları atıldı. Birkaç kiloluk uranyum ve plütonyumdan elektromanyetik radyasyon formunda inanılmaz boyutta bir enerji açığa çıktı. Kaderin oyunuyla dünyanın en yetenekli bilim insanlarının masumane merakı insanlığa bir kitle imha silahı getirdi. Ama denklemin yaratılışa ve güzelliğe paralel bir hikayesi var. Bugün genç fizikçiler Einstein'ın arayışını sürdürüyorlar. E eşittir mc kare denklemi doğduğundan beri zamanın derinliklerini araştırmak, en önemli soruyu yanıtlamak için kullanıldı. Nereden geldik? Araştırmacılar parçacık hızlandırıcıları kullanarak atom parçacıklarını ışık hızına ulaştırıp çarpıştırıyorlar ve böylece büyük patlama sırasındaki koşulları oluşturuyorlar.
E equals mc squared actually tells us how the Big Bang itself happened. In the first moments of creation, the universe was this immensely dense, immensely concentrated eruption of energy. As it rushed apart and expanded, huge amounts of energy, or E, were converted into mass, or M. Pure energy became matter. It became the particles and atoms, and it eventually formed the first stars.
Our sun is a huge furnace floating in space, and it's powered by equals mc squared. Now, it turns out every second, 4 million tons of solid mass of the sun disappears. Comes out as energy, not just a little bit of energy. It's enough to light up our entire solar system, make the solar system glow with heat and light.
And not only do stars emit energy in accordance with E equals mc squared, the whole process actually creates life itself. Eventually, a massive star dies, the debris floats around, clusters together, gets pulled into the orbits of another star, and becomes a planet. We humans and the Earth we stand on are made of stardust. We are a direct product of E equals mc squared.
Yeni kuşaklar bilim insanlarının çağlar boyunca yaptıkları çalışmaları temel alarak cevap arıyorlar. Neredeyse ışık hızına ulaşan yeni araçlar kullanarak seleflerinin hayal bile edemeyeceği soruları sorabiliyorlar. Einstein'ın da bildiği gibi keşfe giden yol bazen acı, bazen mutlulukla dolu. Keşfetme isteği insanlığın merakı kadar eski ve asla bitmeyecek.